So I told y'all the story on how I went to Auburn and I met the dude Outlaw that stabbed something up in the yard and shit. If you ain't see that story, I'ma leave a link at the end of this episode to take you straight to that story so it'll all make sense. But anyway, after we left Auburn finally, I ended up in Oneida. I remember before we went to Oneida, we stopped at like a state facility for the criminally insane. Like the block I told you they threw me in downstate, but this was a whole facility for that shit. Shit was looking crazy. I was like, damn. We stopped there, dropped off a couple of inmates, and then we kept it moving. You feel me? So I ended up in Oneida. Now Oneida is a jail that is next to Mohawk and Mid-State and Marcy. Like it's a pretty wild hub. And Mid-State, and they were supposed to really probably have sent me to Mohawk or Marcy, but they sent me to Oneida. Now Oneida got a rape-o program, so people think, oh, Oneida rape jail. That's not true. Oneida has a rape program. They have a whole separate housing unit just for people with rape charges, sex offenses, you feel what I'm saying? And they like the only medium that has that program. So people hear Oneida, they be like, oh, that's a rape jail. That's not true. It's a regular ass population jail and it has a rape program, and them niggas do not intermingle with regular population. Like they might use the mess hall and shit like that, but they don't sleep in regular population. They go to their own dorm. You feel what I'm saying? So I was in Oneida. It wasn't really nothing but adults. I was the youngest nigga in the entire facility. That's a fact. I met my nigga Block from Poughkeepsie. Know what I mean? That was my fucking dude. Like, he was way older than me, but he was one of the first dudes I met from upstate. He probably was the first dude I met from upstate New York that was a beast. Like, son schooled me to upstate New York. Like, yo, these the towns that get busy. Newburgh, Poughkeepsie. And he was naming all of the towns. You feel what I'm saying? But he was a PK nigga. My nigga Block. Love him. We was in the same dorm together. Nobody wanted problems with my nigga Block. Like, he was a big brolic motherfucker. Like, he just looked like the type of nigga that you don't want no problems with. But that was my bro. We was in Oneida together. When I got to Oneida, that shit was type decent. Like, the way the jail looked, the way the shit is set up, the shit looked like a little miniature city or a town. That shit was type dope. So I'm like, all right, the shit was a boring ass jail though. I'm gonna keep it real. Know what I mean? Like, it wasn't too much shit going on in the jail at the time. I came to the realization that when a nigga doing a bid, you doing a bid on your own, my bro. You may be lucky to have a mad loyal chick, but the average dude, especially a young dude like me, you go to jail, nigga, your chick gonna be in the wind, you feel what I'm saying? And I remember I was in Oneida, know what I mean, fresh up north. And I remember I called my baby mother, you feel what I'm saying? I was on the phone with my baby mother, and I'm talking to her and shit. Her energy is mad off, like, know what I mean? So I'm picking up on that shit. I'm like, yo, what's up with you? Why you sound all crazy and all of that? Know what I mean? Like, you don't want to talk. So she was like, she said some shit like, look where you at and look where I'm at. What can you do for me right now? You feel me? So that was the first dart that went through the heart. I was like this, oh. I was like, yo, now granted, let's keep this in mind. At the time, I was 17 years old. I know y'all niggas get tired of me saying that, but I only basically spoke about the first 2 jails I was in, except for Green. That shit, I mean, that's when I was a little older, 2021 or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But I skipped to that because Green is the most exciting shit. You feel what I'm saying? But at this time, I was in Oneida. I had just came from downstate to Auburn. Know what I mean? Where I met the nigga Outlaw that stabbed the nigga up. Know what I mean? And now I was in Oneida, which was my first, like, you know, real jail. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm in Oneida. Like I said, I'm talking to my baby moms. She hit me with that first dart through the heart. You in there, I'm out here. What can you do for me? And she was like this. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, yo, keep it real. I'm like, what, you fucking with somebody? I'm like, you fucking with somebody? Keep it real. Now, like I said, me being fair, she was 16, I was 17. I left her in the streets 9 months pregnant to go do a 6-year bid. You feel me? I didn't know I was gonna do a whole 6 years, but still I knew I was gonna go do a bid. You feel me? So it was stupid to get her pregnant. You feel me? I don't regret it because I don't regret none of my kids, but I'm just saying, I fucked her life up as well as fucking my own life up, as well as fucking my kid life up by her father missing in action for the first 6 years of her life. You feel what I'm saying? I leave this chick 16 and pregnant in the streets, 9 months pregnant, to go turn myself in to do a bid. All of that shit was bad. So it wasn't really nobody's fault, but we was kids and this is what was going on at the time. So I'm like, yo, so I'm saying, like, what, you fucking with a nigga or something? Like, keep it official. If you fucking with a nigga, just tell me. You feel what I'm saying? She gets silent. That was the next dart, the silence. So I'm like, yo, nah, keep it real. I'm like, yo, keep it real. We've been keeping it real with each other. Keep it real. You fucking with a nigga? So she was like, something like that. When she said that, this was like, my daughter was probably like 2-3 months old at the time, because she was born when I was in downstate. So this was like 2-3 months after that. You feel me? So when she was like, yo, something like that, my heart just was like, ew, straight down. My heart was in my state boot. Real talk, I was tight. Word. So once she told me that, I just hung up the jack like, boom, I'm good. You feel me? Banged it on her. I went back to my motherfucking cube, nigga. I was crying. You heard? My shit was crushed. I was hurt. I was like, oh man, my fucking broad got my baby out there. She leaving. Know what I mean? She fucking with another nigga. I was crushed. I was in my cube crying and all of that. Like, know what I mean? My nigga Showtime. I think someone's from Long Island. The son saw me crying. Nigga came over there. He like, yo, what you crying about, nigga? I'm like, yo, man, know what I mean? My baby mom just told me she fucking with another nigga. Know what I mean? I got this bid to do. My kid out there, know what I mean? That nigga was like, yo, listen, nigga, that shit you crying about right now, every nigga in here done cried about at one time or another. He said, I was doing that same shit on my first bid when I caught my first bid. He said, listen, nigga, you cry that shit out right now and get that shit off your chest, nigga, and chuck that shit up, nigga. You got a bid to do. He said, ain't no motherfucking broad staying loyal to no nigga in the penitentiary, nigga. When it's niggas out pulling up on them with Benzes and BMWs, flashing money and dick on them all day, nigga, you in the penitentiary. When the cat is away, the mice shall play, nigga. You feel what I'm saying? So get that shit off your chest, chuck that shit up, and start doing your bid and stop worrying about these motherfucking broads, nigga. He said, I mean, you ain't gonna sit around doing a whole bid crying over a motherfucking broad, nigga. You gonna eat right, sleep right, get your weight up, work out, nigga, and become a fucking Don, like me. You feel what I'm saying? When you come home, you get 1,000 bitches, nigga. So get that shit off your chest, nigga, and start doing this motherfucking bid and stop giving a fuck about a bitch, nigga. Real talk. My bro Showtime was an ill dude, man. That nigga told me some ill shit. He said, yo, bro, you know why I'm in here right now? He said, listen, I ain't never had to do no crime. I never needed no money. I had a good upbringing. I had everything I needed. He said, you know why I'm sitting in here right now? Because of the movie Scarface. He said, me and a few of my mans went to go see that movie Scarface when that shit first came out. He said, nigga, that shit fucked my head up so much. The next day I called niggas up like this. Yo, y'all niggas want to chip in on a brick? Real talk. The nigga said he got that first brick, and that was it, nigga. His whole life changed. From there, it was in and out the penitentiary, violence, drugs, crazy shit for the rest of his life because of that movie Scarface. Research the movie Scarface. When it first came out, what a lot of people don't know is when it first came out, that shit bombed in the theaters. It didn't do well in the box office at all. A lot of niggas ain't fuck with it because the main character was a murderer. And traditionally, for a screenplay or some shit like that to work, the main character has to be somewhat relatable to the average person and not be a killer, because the average person is not a killer. But with so Scarface, the movie being based around a nigga who was a killer, it didn't do too well with the American audience, but it became a cult classic. And a lot of niggas was sitting in a penitentiary because of that movie, my nigga. It fucked a lot of niggas' heads up, and to this day, it's a dangerous movie to watch. Any street nigga or poor nigga or a nigga from the ghetto broke, watch that movie, he gonna feel a certain kind of way, and that's a fact. That's when Snoop Dogg had just dropped Doggy Style, you feel what I'm saying? So that album, my nigga, that shit got me through this shit, because I had to be on some real fucker bitch shit to get through that, my nigga, because I was hurt. You feel me? I was motherfucking hurt, nigga. So if it wasn't for that album, if it wasn't for that Snoop album, I don't know what I would have did, nigga. You know what I mean? Because all the shit they was talking, all the shit he was talking on that, all the shit he was talking on that Doggy Style album is all the shit I needed to hear to get me through that first year in my bed, my nigga, to get that shit out my system. Because every dude, when you laid up with a chick in the streets like that, you go to jail. Let me tell you, y'all niggas is sharing sexual energies together. When you go to jail, she still got a part of your soul. You feel what I'm saying? Like the science of the yin and the yang, they say that Man is 97% male and 3% female, and women are 97% female and 3% male. And that 3% male that's in her and the 3% feminism that's in you, they cry out for each other. You feel me? And that's what makes them come together and have an attraction to each other. And if you read up on the science of the yin and the yang, they break this shit down even more. You understand what I'm saying? But when you get locked up and you used to laying up, having sex with a chick all day, all night, and y'all connecting those 3% together, you feel what I'm saying? When you go to jail, you be away from her, you gonna feel like a part of you is missing, my nigga. You feel me? It ain't that it's weakness, it's that y'all sharing spiritual energy together, you feel me? So you're gonna feel like a part of you is lost and you're gonna be stressed. You feel me? So even the strongest motherfucker, when you away from your wife, your baby mom, somebody that you was in that bed with, laid up with every night, having sex with and all of that, it ain't that easy to be away from them like that. So you gonna be fucked up. So a nigga like me was crushed for a minute. I was young, but I got my shit together real quick. And I hate to say it, but I learned to say fuck a bitch. Know what I mean? I learned to stop giving a fuck about what a chick was doing out in them streets. I started worrying about my motherfucking bed and how I was gonna come home and be a motherfucking Don. And that's why niggas come home out the penitentiary and they be dawned out. And they be having that Don mentality and thinking they a motherfucking pimp in the mat, because you learn to get that shit out your system of longing to be with a female. You feel what I'm saying? So when you come home, you got all your strength again. Know what I mean? So that's what I started doing. But it was that Snoop Dogg album, that shit helped me through. I'ma keep it real. I wouldn't have made it. But like dudes like my nigga Showtime, dudes like my nigga Block from Poughkeepsie, these was my motherfucking dudes. Like, they was older than me, they was grown ass men, but they was schooling me to the game, schooling me on how to do this bid and not let the bid do me. You feel what I'm saying? Real talk. So I started getting a little comfortable in the jail. I'm like, this jail ain't so bad after all. I could fuck with this. You feel what I'm saying? So Oneida is a funny spot because that shit look like a little city. You feel me? It look like a miniature city, and the buildings that you live in is like real buildings in New York. Gotta go upstairs and stuff like that. So it kind of gives you the feeling of being in New York a little bit. So dudes was feeling it. You feel what I'm saying? And at this time, like I said, this was before Pataki came in office officially. So the menu up north was different and everything. Like they gave like better food and all of that. It was crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm in Oneida, I'm doing me. Starting to do me and shit like that. Going to the gym, chilling with niggas, working out a little bit, trying to work out a little bit. You feel me? One day I'm walking to the gym, minding my business. Guess who I see? This nigga from downstate that told on me that I tried to cut him downstate. As soon as I see the nigga, I'm like, oh man, this nigga gonna rat on me and get me out this jail. You feel what I'm saying? So I see the nigga, I immediately try to pretend that, yo, what up, my nigga? Yo, my nigga, listen. Now I mean, that shit was in the last jail, my nigga. Let's leave. Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's let sleeping dogs lie. You feel me? And let's leave that shit alone, my nigga. I ain't gonna talk about that. You don't talk about it. Whatever happened, it happened. It is what it is. So he like, yo, you mean that? You mean that, my nigga? Yo, my fault. So I'm like, yeah, my nigga, let's chill. Like, and Oneida, like I said, Oneida got a rape program. I think this nigga had a rape case. That's why I hadn't seen son for the few weeks that I was in the jail, because he was in the rape dorm. You feel what I'm saying? So the nigga had a rape case and all of that. So when he saw me, I just looked at the look on that nigga face. That nigga whole face turned white. I was like, oh man, this nigga right here. He seen me with a couple of niggas calling me like, yo son, what up? Come here, yo son, what up? You going to the yard? Shit like that. Like, you feel me? He like, this nigga got peoples in here. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, I hope this nigga don't tell on me. Sure enough, 2-3 days later, these niggas called me to pack up. Yo, pack up. Yo, you going to another jail. I'm like, damn, I'm tight. Because I'm there with my nigga Showtime, my nigga Block, especially my nigga Block from Poughkeepsie. That was my fucking nigga. I'm like, nah, I don't want to leave my son Block, man. I was tight. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm mad. I'm like, I know this fucking nigga ratted on me again, man. Real talk. He laying low. I don't see the nigga no more. I get packed up. I'm like, this nigga ratted on me. You feel me? So, boom. Niggas telling me, yo, you go to the receiving room, ask them niggas what jail you going to. You understand what I'm saying? Ask the nigga who work in the receiving room what jail you going to. So I'm like, all right. So boom, I asked the nigga. He tell me, yo, you going to Great Meadow. So I'm like, Great Meadow? I'm like, yes, nigga. That shit sound like a camp. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I knew I was gonna go to a camp. I knew these niggas was gonna know I was a young nigga and deserved to be in a motherfucking, a better spot. You feel me? So I'm like, yeah, I go back to the dorm. I'm type happy. Niggas like, yo, young blood, where you going? Where you going, my nigga? You found out? I was like, yeah, I'm going to a camp. Niggas like, see, I told you you was gonna have some good luck. So niggas like, yo, what's the name of the camp? What camp? What it's called? So I'm like, yo, it's called Great Meadow. I said that shit, nigga, the whole dorm got quiet. Everybody playing cards, talking. I said, yeah, I'm going to Great Meadow. Niggas was like a record scratch. Niggas was like, Great Meadow. Nigga was like, shorty, you going to gladiator school. So I was like, nah, Great Meadow, a camp. Niggas was like, nigga, that ain't no camp. Nigga said Great Meadow is Comstock. That's the stock, nigga. That's like the worst max in the state. I'm like, nah. Niggas like, nah, I'm going. I was like, nah, y'all bugging. He was like, I'm telling you, shorty. Great Meadow is the real name to Comstock. Comstock is a nickname. They just call it Comstock because it's in Comstock, New York. But nigga said, nigga, that shit ain't no camp. That's gladiator school. Now, this is before I was in Green and all of that. Green is gladiator school, but Green is 70% cutting, 30% stabbing. Spots like Comstock, that shit 80% stabbing. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas getting killed and dragged out in body bags in Comstock. Niggas like, yo, sure, I don't know why the fuck they sending you to Comstock, my nigga. I don't know why they doing that. Niggas is like, damn, niggas was shaking their head like, this little nigga going to the stock. Niggas in Green running around with scalpels and rug cutters and gem stars and shit like that. Niggas in Comstock. Remember that video game Strider? That's the type of swords niggas got in Comstock. You remember that shit Joust? Remember that old video game from the 80s, Joust? That's niggas in Comstock, my nigga. Niggas playing Joust. You heard? Minus the flying ostrich. Niggas is playing Joust in that motherfucker. So that shit is the last place a little nigga like me wanted to go. But it was too late, nigga. I was on the pack up, you heard? What is this, velvet?
Yo, I'm getting on that phone next.
Yo,
my nigga, don't disrespect me, my nigga. You see me standing here waiting for the phone, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you waiting for, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about, nigga? We looking at that shit. Touch that New York tale. This a true New York tale. For real, for real. The jail to the strip. 200 gangs the list in New York. A New York story.
You smell me? We looking chunky up here. We looking chunky up here, bro. We looking chunky. We looking chunky. We looking chunky. Slim Blunt Gang on the check-in. You heard? SBG. Make sure y'all check out my music on Spotify. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Make sure y'all check out my podcast with my bro Mark Ward. You feel me? We about to start the Super Facts Network. Genpop is gonna have its own podcast coming soon. In the meantime, you wanna listen to the audio of these episodes? I'm gonna drop the link in the description. But the Genpop podcast is definitely being made for all those who keep asking. Put my name in on YouTube, st.laz. Watch my video with Jay the Kiss. Watch my video with Jim Jones, Tony Yayo, Conway. I done did big shit. Pause. I don't just tell jail stories and shit. Find out about me, st.laz. Hey, yo, check this out, man. Real talk. Y'all know I'm fly. Y'all know I'm fly. Y'all know this cut is fly. You notice that new wave in the hood, nigga. I'ma have the whole hood rocking the Bieber cuts, you heard? Cause I'm a trendsetter, nigga. You heard? I start shit. I come through with the Bieber cut. Niggas fall in line. You heard? You gonna see all the thugs and gangsters with the Bieber cut, nigga. Remember who started it? LA Zini, you heard?